So times are tough now for many of us. And I think the opportunity to earn a little bit of spare cash in retirement would be welcomed by most, really. So I wanted to talk about a new income stream that I've been planning for a while, because I think it's absolutely perfect if you're between the ages of 55 and 105. You've got a real advantage for this income stream. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But in return, I want you to help me out. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this income stream, how it works, and why I think it's a great idea for us if we're 55 plus. But I also want a little help from you. I'm going to put two things here at the top of the screen, which is, should I stick with this channel or should I create a second channel? Okay, so they're the two things. At some point during this video, just as payback for me sharing this with you, it'd be great if you just in the comments below write either that or that just in the comments for me, because it'd really help. Okay, so what am I talking about here? So I'm due to retire in the next 12 months. And there's two things that have been playing on my mind. Okay, one is I know my money's going to drop. And what will that mean for me? So I've done lots and lots of spreadsheets and pieces of paper and calculations to try and work out how much I'll be impacted by the reduction in my salary when I do retire. And I've started to get a bit of a grip on that. And I think I'm quite lucky, really. I know whatever happens, I'm not going to be on the street. And I know I'll always be able to feed myself and my family, myself and my wife. So, they're the basics covered. But then I think, well, should I have retired a year later? That'll give me more opportunity to travel the world more. And that's where I'm at. So I'm lucky. I'm not in a position where I'm worried about heating in the winter or being able to feed myself or pay accommodation costs. So, let's clear that out of the way. I'm not in that position, but it does worry you anyway. And the second thing is probably deeper for me, which is about my purpose. So I've led what I think's been a fulfilling career, really. I've done lots and lots of good things. I've got a lot of value out of my working life. And when it boils down, when I really analyse what it is that I like about what I've liked about my working life so far, it's about the creativity. I'm very much an introvert. And like many introverts, that creativity is really an important part of kind of my personality and my outlook on life, really, is to be able to go out and generate and create ideas, as many introverts are. I don't know, I've never been an extrovert, so I couldn't say whether that's a similar thing for you guys, but I know from the introverts, I know that creativity is a very big thing in terms of motivation. Okay, so I'm scared that when I retire, all that stuff I do in work, which I class as creativity, may no longer be an option for me. So I really wanted a sideline, something that generates a little bit of income. Maybe I'll call that button money for holidays. And I also want something that's going to stimulate my mind. The thought of not doing anything frightens me to death, to be honest. I've never been diagnosed, but I do think I'm probably adult ADHD, and not being able to have something to occupy me does get me uncomfortable, really. So I've got myself in a position where now what I've done is I've created this channel here on YouTube. And what I've realized since doing that is us guys 55 plus have a massive advantage over everyone else here on YouTube. So many of the audience are around our age who use YouTube on a daily basis. And we're not fans of taking information, particularly about pensions and finances, that kind of thing, of taking information from 25-year-olds on the subject. They don't really get us in the way that, they accuse us of not really getting their generation as well. They call us boomers and Gen Xers, and, we might, I'd never do this, but some people would call them snowflakes and all them kind of things. But for me, I like watching YouTube, and I like watching people who are similar in my age group. Okay, that really gives me a bit of confidence that when they're talking to me about, say, for example, retirement, that they've got lived experience that will be similar to mine, and that they're going to understand the challenges that I face. What I would also say is there's some other absolutely incredible channels out there from people in their late 70s, their 80s, and their 90s. I'll show a few clips up here of some of those past ones that have been absolute classics. And there's something about listening to people in later years about their experience, really, that makes it much more authentic. So we have this absolute advantage over the younger guys in terms of using YouTube as a way to make money. So how do you actually make money on YouTube? Well, if you look at my channel counts as I'm recording this now, I can see it on my screen. It's about, it's actually 962 followers. Now that's gone up by 620 followers in the last 20 days. So, it is possible as an old grey to get some real interest in the content that you produce. And it doesn't have to be wonderful. I mean, I'm an introvert and I struggle with public speaking. If you go back in history and look at my first 20 videos, they were absolutely terrible. Most of them I've deleted now because I couldn't even put my face on camera until I realized that actually no one cares whether you're on camera or not. I think that my content's still very, very basic, but people seem to like it. 620 new viewers in the last 28 days is just incredible, really. It's not uncommon. I know there's lots of YouTubers out there getting a similar thing if you are a little bit older in life, a little bit more experienced. So not to be afraid of it. So how do you actually make money? So the way it works is once you get to 1,000, I'm 962, so probably a week away, if things continue, then at that point, YouTube actually start sending you money. So the way it works is once you've got 1,000, you become then what they call monetized. And that means that when people watch your videos, Google collect all the information about them views and they actually send you some money. And I know a few people who are over 55 and do retirement type videos make a really good living out of this now. I mean, I'm not looking to make a reasonably good living. I'm looking to get, £100 a month, £200 a month to put into a holiday fund so that me and my wife can do a few extra things that we hadn't really planned for in our budget. That's what I'm looking for. And that'll do me. But if you did want to put a bit more effort into it, I'm sure you could set your sights higher than a couple of £100 a month. Go back to that question now about, do I just stick with this channel? In this channel here, I talk about pensions, threats to our pensions. I talk about how to calculate when you're likely to retire, whether you've got enough money. They're my real focus. But I think there's also an opportunity for me to start talking about creativity after 55. Now, this channel, as you know, is called Time to Retire. And I was thinking of creating a second channel called Time to Create. And that is about being over 55 and maintaining your creativity. Now, if you think about, let's pick a career. So say working in a bank, there might be someone who does the cleaning after hours. And they'll be having a huge amount of creativity. So they'll be planning their routes around the banking areas. They'll be working out which products work best in different areas. They'll be dealing with those late workers and making their days better by having conversations with them, and at the same time making their own days better. Getting through with the most economy and efficiency of that cleaning protocol during that evening and sticking to the rules as they're set. All that kind of thing takes a huge amount of creativity. I'll take another role in that bank would be the manager of the bank, and that, they've got teams to support, they've got products that need to develop, they've got senior management at the central bank that they need to deal with, and they'll be putting a similar level of creativity into their work as well. So it doesn't matter what kind of jobs you've been doing, every job's important, but we all use creativity in our jobs, and that keeps us energized, it keeps our minds working, it keeps us thinking. So there is a risk that you finish your last day, sit on the couch, switch the TV, daytime TV on, and lose all your opportunities for using your creativity. And that's why I think YouTube is absolutely perfect, because it makes you think. So I'll be sitting there driving in the car thinking, oh, what could I be talking about next? Watching other YouTubers, seeing what they're talking about. It's a real hobby. I've really, really enjoyed my time doing these YouTube videos, and I can't see myself ever stopping. And there's plenty of 95-year-olds out there who've been doing this for 20, 30 years. Well, not 30, but 20 years. And are still enjoying what they're doing and getting a lot from it. So let's have a look at some YouTubers over the age of 55. And this is Shirley Curry. As you can see, she's got 977,000 subscribers here. She was a big gaming fan. I was not only passionate about playing games such as Skyrim, but also passionate about talking to our audience about these games. And as you can see, very popular, some great content produced there. Next up, we got a talker who, again, late 80s, but really passionate about a variety of subjects. Nothing very specific, but people loved what he was doing. And then we have Mary Bartonica. Very natural style, and from her very first videos, she was getting massive audiences straight away. And this is Grandma Mary. She actually gang together with her sisters to produce content, and again, real fun content. You can see from the thumbnails here that they're really passionate about what they did, and their audience was pretty enormous as well, with over 30,000 subscribers. She used to do a lot of content about song lyrics. And this is Lil Droniak, who produced a lot of content with her grandson. A lot of energy between the two of them. Really cute to watch, actually, as well. And then we have, lastly here, Peter Oakley. Again, some really great content. Over 90,000 subscribers listen to him regularly. So look, I know there'll be a few out there saying, oh, that sounds really technical and complicated. It's actually not really. It sounds expensive in that, you think you might need, expensive computers and stuff. I don't even use a computer, actually. So all I've got is these two things. I've got these little microphones here. This one plugs in the bottom of my phone here. And then I clip one of these two under the rim of my t-shirt. And that's how you hear me when I'm talking. So that's just a little microphone that clips on. And then, as I say, I haven't got a computer. This is me actually rendering this video. There you can see me walking towards the chair at the beginning of this video. And that's a bit of software that sits on my phone. I think it's about £4 a month to have that. And it does absolutely everything I need. Never needed anything else. So not expensive, not complicated. Don't need a computer to do it either. So do I stick with this channel called Time to Retire, or do I create a second channel called Time to Create, where I talk about much more about, not about the financial side of retiring, but the activity and creativity side of retiring? And on there, I talk a bit more about my YouTube journey. And for anyone else who agrees with me that YouTube's a good channel for us over 55s, then somewhere for them really to pick up, what I've learned so far in the few months that I've been doing this. So I hope you pay me back for producing this video by picking one of the two options above. I'd be really, really grateful. And as ever, thanks for listening. Oh, and I'd love to get that 962 above 1,000 so I can tell you what happens when I get my first check off YouTube in the next few weeks. That would be amazing. Thanks again. See you on the next one.